The former crime intelligence operative, identified only as Colonel Naidu, is expected to testify in camera at the state capture inquiry today. Naidu requested to have his identity hidden as he's currently in witness protection. He'll testify about fraud and corruption in crime intelligence. Naidu is also expected to take the stand after Limpopo IPID head Innocent Kuba's testimony. That's been ongoing today. Our reporter Michael Apple is at the inquiry. Michael joining us live now from Parktown. And Michael will speak about Colonel Naidu shortly. Let's begin with Innocent Kuba's evidence on his second day in that witness chair. What's he said?
Hi, Timukile. Well, he's really been through the ringer, that's Innocent Kuba. He's been detailing how, well, he was the lead investigator on the Zimbabwe rendition saga. That it's the case of 5 Zimbabweans who were illegally deported back to Zimbabwe where they were allegedly killed. He's going through that saga. Yesterday, he has detailed how the rendition saga, it seems, was a hit, in his words, on the leadership of the Hawks at the time, which was led by Anwar Dramat, and Gauteng, it was led by Shadrack Sibiya. That rendition saga would eventually be used to remove Anwar Dramat and Shadrack Sibiya from their positions, and it was an entire conspiracy almost to make sure that Dramat is removed and Burning in Klemeza comes in, which is exactly what happened. And he has spoken at length this afternoon on the second day of his testimony about how he was approached by various people in the Hawks who tried to get him to sign certain statements that it was Robert McBride, who at the time was the executive director of IPID, as well as Matthew Sissoko, head of investigations at IPID, who had coerced him, forced him to alter statements, the investigation of IPID into this rendition saga. When he refused to do this, he's ultimately suspended, he's arrested, he's initially charged with fraud, then it's defeating the ends of justice. They try to make life as difficult as they could for him as the lead investigator on this case. His signature was on the interim report, which is given to the NPA, which says initially that Anwar Dramat and Shadrack Sibiya should be charged, but then there is a later report, a final report, which says these 2 senior Hawks officials, that there's no evidence to implicate them in the Zimbabwe rendition saga. That is when it becomes very complicated, trust me, and they keep going after him as the lead investigator, saying you were forced to alter that statement. Who was it? And you're going to sign a statement saying it was Robert McBride and Matthew Sissoko who forced you to do it. When he refuses to do that, he's labored under a lot of intimidation, cops coming to his house, him eventually being suspended, petrol claims not being paid out by his employer for 8 months, everything to try and make his life as difficult as possible. It's unclear after lunch how much longer we're going to continue with him before we get to the next witness.
Let's speak then about the man of the moment, this Colonel Naidu. That's the name he's been given for the purpose of this inquiry, as I understand it. Currently in witness protection. Explosive detail we're expecting him to reveal today.
Well, yeah, Colonel Naidu is his, let's say, his original real name. A name, what he goes by now, we won't know. He's been in witness protection for several years after he became an informant for the Hawks, who were investigating the suspicious use, looting, misuse, abuse, call it what you want, the use of taxpayer money flowing into the Secret Services account of crime intelligence, being used to buy vehicles, upgrade homes, buy flight tickets for friends and family, a whole host of things which were off the books and could not be audited and be accounted for because those documents are classified by crime intelligence and nobody can get their hands on them, and they kind of run crime intelligence, the Secret Services account as a law unto itself for which nobody has to account for, with Richard Mgluli at the top, followed by second in command Solomon Lazarus. Colonel Naidu was somewhere under them, so when he turned on his bosses and started telling the Hawks exactly what that money was being used for, that is when the Hawks took him out of his position in crime intelligence and placed him somewhere under witness protection. He's going to be testifying today from an undisclosed location. For the viewers, there will be no physical visual broadcast. There will only be an audio link.
All right, Michael Appel, our reporter at the State Capture Inquiry, thank you.